Hi, Phyllis here from southernfrugal.com. Tonight I'm going to make a potato, cabbage, and cheese type casserole. And this is really somewhat of a German-Swiss dish probably. And you could certainly use it as a side dish, but tomorrow we're going to have it after church, and we're going to have it with some of the cornbread I made. And I got the recipe on this particular cornbread from a lady who is a subscriber, and you'll see her. She's made comments on several of my videos recently, Hands That Cook, and you might want to look up her channel, because this cornbread that she makes is just super good, and it's made with, she puts mayonnaise in it, which is really unusual, but it's very good cornbread. Anyway, we've got a little bit of that left over, so we're going to have that with this casserole tomorrow after church. Alright, so what you'll need will be about 5 red potatoes, about this size. And I've had mine peeled for a while, so they've already oxidated on that little side. So what I've done is I've sliced them. You want to slice them thin. And I just do it with this slicing side of the grater, and just go down. And you want to be careful with this. Now, when I get to the end of it, I just stop, and the last part of it I cut with the knife. Because you don't want to cut your hand, even though I don't think that would really cut you. So see, it makes them very thin, and that's what you're looking for this particular casserole. And the last little bit, I just cut with my knife to sort of make them consistent. Alright, we're going to blanch these potatoes for just a couple of minutes. And I've got the water pretty rapid boil, and I'm just going to dump all these potatoes in. And they're very thin sliced, so it won't take but a minute or so. And just let it come back to a boil, and then we're going to take them out and drain them. Now the other thing that we're going to use is cabbage. Now, I've already prepared my cabbage. What you want to do is just pull off the leaf and then take that center spine out, because we're going to also just sort of pre-cook this cabbage. So I just pulled the leaves off and took off that center, really thick center part, because you want it to be consistent. You don't want anything tough in this casserole. See? So that's like half a leaf. Alright, so once these potatoes come to a boil, I'm going to let them boil just a very short time, and then I'm going to take them out and kind of dry them off with this towel over a plate. That was my timer, but I didn't set it exactly right, so we're still going to wait till they boil just a few little more seconds. Alright, I'm going to let these boil for maybe another 30 seconds. I'm going to take them up and put them on this towel to drain, and when I do that, we'll be back. Alright, I had taken my potatoes up, and I've put them over here inside a little dish towel to kind of dry off some of the moisture off of them. And they're just only partially cooked. Alright, now in the same water we're going to put our cabbage leaves in. Just drop them down in there. I'm going to go ahead and actually put the lid on. Alright. Now we're ready to start assembling this little casserole. Make sure my leaves are good and down under the water. Now, I just super love cabbage and potatoes together. Even though I don't have any German heritage, for some reason I really like those two things together. Alright, so we've got a buttered casserole dish, and I put lots of butter in the bottom of it. And now what we're going to do, I'll move this down now, is start lining these potatoes up in the bottom of this little casserole dish. Let me come in closer. There. Right there. So we're just going to start lining them up, kind of even going up the side with them a little bit. They're still, of course, warm. Meanwhile, our cabbage is boiling pretty good. And we want these potatoes, you know, just somewhat dried off with the towel. And again, you want to generously grease the bottom. Oh, they're almost too hot to handle. Very thinly sliced. And by the way, on that cornbread I was telling you about, made by Hands That Cook, oh, it was so good. I made it late one night. It was sort of like almost like a midnight snack for us, but it was absolutely delicious. And you have to make it just exactly like she shows you. I mean, even right down to the little bacon grease she uses. She doesn't use about a teaspoon or so in it, but you still definitely need to use it. And also, I actually got out my little cast iron skillet to bake it in, which I can't use on this cooktop, of course. All right, now our cabbage is just boiling away over there. All right, so we've got the bottom of this pretty well lined. Let me just check on this cabbage a little more. I've got some darker leaves in there, so I'm going to boil this several minutes. All right, now you want to just kind of dot this with a little bit of butter. Not much, just little pinches. Oops, you can't see, can you? Just little pinches here and there on the potatoes. I think that our cabbage has probably cooked long enough. So I'm going to, well, maybe I'll let it cook a couple more minutes. And I'm going to take it out and let it cool a little bit, and we'll finish filling up this casserole dish. Okay, our cabbage has finished cooking for the little short length of time. It was about 10 minutes. Just enough to get it sort of par cooked. All right, here we are back with the potatoes. Now the cabbage is still pretty hot, so just bear with me here. I'm just going to line it up in here. Use something besides my hands here. Now we're going to bake this in the oven at about 400 degrees for 45 minutes to an hour. Now I'm thinking, you know, you might want to check it at 45 minutes. And we're going to put aluminum foil over the top of it. That will ensure that the steam in there is going to cook this cabbage thoroughly. All right. At this point, we're going to put a little salt in there, which will seep down to the potatoes also. 1½ cups of shredded Swiss cheese right on top. Just a great combination, really. And really, pretty much a meal in itself. There goes my little dog. Bark, bark, barking. Okay, now we're ready to finish lining the top with the little slices of potato. And you can make this look sort of neat if you'd like. I just kind of like to get the job done and get this thing in the oven. All right. Just a layer of the thin potatoes that have been par cooked. And I really think, this really is like a complete meal. Now, it's probably known in Germany and the Swiss Alps, and probably even northern Italy, as a poor man's dish. But it's also a pretty healthy dish, I think. Just going to line it all up. Get all that cheese covered. And you notice there's no additional water in here at all. The cabbage, of course, is going to still have some moisture left in it. A little bad place on that potato. Just get that off. Now, in Germany or Switzerland, or they would line it all up real neat. And good for them is all I got to say on that. Because I'm not that neat. At least not with this. Even when the Germans make an apple pie, they slice it real thin, and not to say anything against them, but they got a lot of time, I guess, to do that. And they line them up all the way around. Have you ever seen one of those German pies where each apple slice is just lined up and piled on top and goes up into a little spiral? Really time consuming, really. All right, a little more salt. Not much though, just a little bit. And now we're going to dot the top of this with butter. Not a whole lot, but some. I might have to try some of this tonight. I know it's good, but still. When I actually look at my videos, some others I've made, if I'm looking back on them for some reason, it makes me hungry. Or when I watch other people's videos, especially if they're close up, it's just like you can almost smell what they're cooking. Alright, this ought to be enough butter. One more little slice here on this side. Alright, now all we need to do, put some tin foil over this. Cook it for about, I would say, a good 30 to 40 minutes. And then you want to take the tin foil off and let those potatoes get a little brown on top. Now when this gets done, we'll be back. Alright, we're back, and our little potato cabbage casserole is done with Swiss cheese. I sprinkled a little bit of paprika on the top of it after I took it out of the oven. So around the edges it's browned. Let me see if I can put a little fork in. This will really be a meal for probably 2 people, but if you wanted it for more, you could just double it. I really don't want to mess it up. Let me get a little saucer and we'll be back. Okay, I took out a little spoonful, and you can see there's the cabbage, there's a little Swiss cheese. I'm going to have to taste of this just a little bit. It's very hot. It's absolutely divine. For a poor man's meal, it tastes pretty darn good. Alright, there it is. Alright, this is our lunch for tomorrow after church. Alright, I hope you'll try this. It's really very inexpensive and very, very tasty. Alright, see you next time.